Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me here at Crown Land Productions. It's Sunday, and we're going to have a seismology report. This evening's report is going to be a conclusion of last week's of why volcanoes and earthquakes happen while the Earth is shifting her weight. Last week we discussed two earthquakes that happened on the Great Divide a few days after each other, but both earthquakes triggered hundreds of aftershocks. And today, I should say this evening we will discuss two stratospheric eruptions. They were the only stratospheric eruptions that happened last year, and they both happened right after each other, right on the Ring of Fire, uh, while the Earth was shifting from spring into summer. So we're looking at the first volcanic eruption here. It happens at 4 a.m. in the morning. Let's see if I can zoom out here so you can see the chart. It happened at 4 a.m. in the morning on June 22nd, on June 22nd, 2019. We're going to zoom up here again, and we're going to look at Venus. Venus is in Gemini. The ascendant is on Gemini, but I want to show you real quick here how it's important with these seismic activities that there's usually a water sign and an earth sign on the horizon and on the descendant of the chart. On the front, in the first house is Cancer, and then we have Capricorn in the seventh and eighth houses here. But you can see that Saturn is also at home in Capricorn, and Saturn rules the seashore. Saturn rules the island, and Saturn rules the shape of water flowing down the river. But most importantly, Saturn does rule the cone of the volcano and the ash that's coming out. Then we have Neptune here at the top here in the 11th house. But if you can see, it's truly the summer solstice with the midhaven way off to the west there. You can see how the Earth is actually shifting her weight. But when you look at Venus, and Venus is a very volcanic planet, and as it sits across stormy Jupiter, it's an opposition that's got a 3-degree orb, and then we have Neptune at 18 degrees in Pisces at the top of the chart, and you can see it makes even a shape that looks like a volcano cone. You see that? Now, when we look over here at Wikipedia, we're going to look at the NASA Landsat view of Reykjavik Island, and look at it. It looks just like the chart. It's a cone. Very amazing. And then when we want to look at the eruption, see, it wasn't really a big deal of eruption, but it's a powerful one sentence description at approximately 4 a.m., which is 22nd of June, which is the 4th again, and then we got Cancer. It's the first day of Cancer, which is the 4th sign of the zodiac. So at approximately 4 a.m., 22nd of June, 2019, it erupted with a plume of ash and gas, ash being Saturn, gas being Neptune, reaching between 1,300 meters, 13 meters, that 4 number again, and 1,700 meters, which is twice the 4, which is 8. Passing the tropopause, passing the tropopause, and allowing a stratospheric injection. It's way up there, right? Look how high it would be up there. It'd be up there hanging out with the space shuttle. And allowing a stratospheric injection of ash and sulfur dioxide. And this is the type of thing that causes global cooling, is because the ash and the sulfur dioxide both block the sun's rays at that elevation. So this was I'm going to shrink this down again so we can look at the whole chart with the data here. Excuse me, I'm going to have a glass of water. things we have to look at here for the chart is that we have both Mars and Mercury, 23 degrees and 25 degrees Cancer, opposed Pluto at 22 degrees and Saturn at 18 degrees. The Saturn opposed Mars is a perfect opposition. I mean, it's direct, right? And then we have, as I said before, we have the squares happening, and then a sextile with Uranus and the Sun, and Uranus rules sudden things, sudden events. Uranus rules earthquakes, but most importantly, volcanoes are earthquakes that erupt and have explosive power, and Uranus rules that as well. Now, looking at the next chart, we have the U1 stratospheric eruption. Yes, the U1 stratospheric eruption. We're going to look at this on Wikipedia as well. But once again, we have Cancer right there. It's only 4 days later. It's the 4th. It's June 26th, right? So it's 4 days later. We have the Sun is even in a tighter sextile. The Sun's even in a tighter sextile of Uranus. But the Moon has moved completely. But at the same time, what we have here is on this next eruption in Poplar at U1, we have we have 4 squares going on. We have a Sun square Moon. Sun is in Cancer at 4 degrees. It is squared. It's a cardinal because Aries is a cardinal sign and Cancer is a cardinal sign, and they are both squared. The Sun and the Moon, and then the Moon is actually squared Saturn as well, as it shows. It's a light square. It's not super strong, but it's there. And then we have the Saturn squaring Neptune, 18 degrees. 18 degrees. Well, it's actually a sextile. Saturn is a sextile, but we have Jupiter that's also squared Neptune. As you can see, there's a lot of planetary stress, and once again, these cone-shape pressure points. And when you look at this energy, and you have to realize the Sun is over here in Cancer at 4 degrees, and where is the Earth? The Earth is right between, getting sandwiched between Jupiter and Saturn. You can see that the Sun's right there. The Earth would be right between there. So the Earth has all this gravitational pressure right there, causing the eruption when it is. You can't get away from it, and it's right south. It's pretty much directly south of the other eruption. When we look at the other eruption, see this one eruption is 151 east. When we look at the other eruption, it's 156 east. So look at that. They're right directly in a straight line north and south of each other on the first few days of summer. So I really appreciate you sitting with me tonight and having this brief discussion about this. I'm going to let you go, but I'm working on a even greater report for you all to help us through this time of extreme change during this COVID pandemic. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking with you really soon about my new report. And thanks again for all your support, and have a lovely evening and a productive week. All the best. Signing off.